A shocking moment has surfaced where a man can be seen openly boasting about how he would kill Tommy Robinson, and yet, unbelievably, nothing has been done about it. No police response, no outrage from the authorities, no headlines calling it out. Just silence. And that silence says a lot. We'll dive into this story in today's video, but before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Right now, only 12% of viewers are subscribed, so join the community and help us grow. Here's the truth: if an ordinary British person so much as tweeted an opinion or posted something online that went against the grain, the police would be at their door in an instant. People are being questioned, investigated, even arrested for words on a screen. Yet here we have an explicit, violent threat made out loud, and somehow that's brushed under the carpet. This is two-tier policing at its finest. One rule for some, and a very different rule for others. It's a pattern we see time and time again across the UK. And let's be honest, imagine if the roles were reversed. Imagine a white British man was caught on camera threatening to kill a Muslim man. The authorities would pounce on it immediately, and the media would have a field day. There'd be outrage, protests, and non-stop coverage. But when the victim is a white English male, silence. Excuses, inaction. And that's why people are losing faith in the system. Because the message being sent is loud and clear. Some voices, some lives, some threats are taken seriously, and others aren't. That is not justice, that is not equality. And it certainly isn't what policing is supposed to look like in this country. Have a watch of this clip.
Oh, Tommy Robinson for 5 minutes, bro. Poke him up, bro.
Tommy, you listening, mate?
I'll poke you up, you little I'll put me in a cell with Tommy Robinson for 5 minutes, bro. Poke him up, bro.
Tommy, you listening, mate?
I'll poke you up, you little
And what makes this all the more sickening is that when this man makes the threat, they both laugh, as if it's some kind of joke. They know nothing will be done. They know the system will turn a blind eye. And that right there is the perfect example of how broken things have become. If people can openly boast about killing someone and laugh because they're confident the authorities won't lift a finger, then we don't have justice, we don't have policing, we have double standards. And the public are waking up to it. In other news, a car has ploughed into a group of hooded men wielding knives as they fought in the middle of the road outside a London mosque. Footage shared online showed 4 men brawling outside the London Central Mosque in Regent's Park, with 2 appearing to be brandishing weapons. A car then ploughed into the group, knocking 2 of the individuals to the floor. While sprawled on the floor, the men were slashed at again with the knives as onlookers pleaded with them to stop. National Express coaches, London buses, and other motorists were brought to a standstill as the fight continued in broad daylight. A 30-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of affray in connection with the incident, and another was found with stab wounds. A Metropolitan Police spokesman said, Met Police received multiple reports of a large disturbance on Park Road, NW8, at around 15:48 on Saturday, September 27th. A group of men were witnessed fighting in the road before being involved in a collision with a single vehicle. Officers responded, and one man was located with stab injuries. His injuries are not believed to be life-changing or life-threatening. A 30-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of affray. He remains in custody, and inquiries are ongoing. Last month, the Mayor of London, Sir Sadiq Khan, declared that data showed knife crime had dropped by 19% between April and June this year in comparison with the same time period in 2024. However, at the end of July, Westminster City Councillor Lala Cunningham confronted Sir Sadiq about the levels of knife crime in the capital. She told him that knife crime was up by 60% over the past 2 years, before accusing the mayor of not caring. Data showed the number of offences in London had risen by 86% in the past decade, and 58% in the 3 years between 2021 and 2024. The Office for National Statistics found that the capital accounted for nearly a third of all knife crime nationwide, and had a 9% increase last year, despite the national rate dropping by 1%. At the time, a spokesperson for the Mayor of London said, Nothing is more important to the mayor than keeping Londoners safe, and he is determined to continue leading from the front to build a safer London for all. Thanks to the hard work of the Met Police and partners, homicides, gun crime with lethal barrel discharges, knife crime with injury, and burglary are all down since 2016, and last year teen murders were the lowest they've been in over a decade. The latest ONS stats also show that overall, the violent crime with injury rate is lower in London than in the rest of England and Wales. Record funding from the mayor and an enhanced approach to neighbourhood policing in the West End has led to personal robberies falling by 20% and violence with injury reducing by 25% in the last year. The mayor is determined to build on this progress. His record £1.16 billion funding has secured 935 police officers, and he has worked closely with the Commissioner to increase the number of police officers on the beat in the West End, plus additional police officers working in new or enhanced town centre teams in hotspot areas. Despite years of austerity by the previous government, this is the latest example of the Met Police and Mayor prioritising what Londoners want and delivering on their pledge to put high visibility policing at the heart of fighting crime and rebuilding community confidence and trust. 125 migrants have crossed the channel in a mega dinghy, the biggest ever number of illegal arrivals on a single boat. It has been confirmed the record boatload arrived in UK waters on Saturday afternoon. Across Saturday, almost 900 migrants made the crossing from France. On Sunday, a further 400 made the illegal journey, taking advantage of a break in the weather conditions. It was first reported the use of a so-called mega dinghy in the channel on August 12. On that occasion, the record for the number of migrants on a single boat was set when that dinghy crossed with 106 people on board. Maritime sources told the People's Channel that any increasing use of these much larger migrant rafts would be a game changer. The source said, "We've been seeing the criminal gangs squeezing more and more migrants onto their dinghies. We'll now regularly see more than 80 on a single boat. That's dangerously overloaded, and we've seen again this weekend 4 migrants die on overcrowded boats." The mega dinghies are obviously bigger and could carry as many as 150. If we see these vessels being increasingly used by the people smugglers, they can get many more across the channel on fewer boats. It was confirmed that the Border Force vessel, Ranger, arrived in Dover Harbour early yesterday evening with a huge load of 203 migrants on board. 125 of those were taken off the mega dinghy, with 78 others picked up from a second migrant boat. So far this weekend, around 1,300 migrants have crossed the English Channel, taking advantage of weather conditions that had stopped crossings for the past week. Reacting to the arrival of the mega dinghy, the Home Secretary Shabana Mahmood said, "These small boats crossings are utterly unacceptable, and the vile people smugglers behind them are wreaking havoc on our borders. Thanks to our deal with France, people crossing in small boats can be detained, and the first removals have now begun." Protecting the UK border is my priority as Home Secretary, and I will explore all options to restore order to our immigration system. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you have not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you, take care, goodbye.